Through Pages wishes you the best as you watch this video. We have learned previously the scope of memorized speech. If you have not watched the video lesson presentation yet, please click and follow the link below. Today, we are going to focus on impromptu speech. Whenever teachers call us to answer questions, our response can be considered impromptu. Impromptu came from Latin promptus, which later became impromptu, which means in readiness, then as impromptu in French, used in English in the mid-17th century as an adverb. An impromptu speech is delivered with a very minimal preparation or no preparation at all. It demands advanced knowledge on the given topic. Remember how we avoid eye contact with teachers whenever we skip doing homework? We dread those awkward moments when all we can say is, "I have no idea. Sorry, I have not come across this concept." Or more professionally, "I am still formulating and organizing my thoughts." Impromptu speech is rendered whenever we are called to speak off the cuff or on the spur of the moment, which speakers could easily share because they're quite knowledgeable about the subject or the topic. What are the advantages of an impromptu speech? 1. We are in full control of what we want to present. We can talk about what we want to include. 2. We can use personal examples from experience to support what we are saying. 3. We can speak directly to the audience with conviction. Our delivery will be natural and spontaneous. What are the disadvantages though? 1. Thinking on our feet can be too challenging. We have to keep on formulating ideas once we start speaking. 2. Even if we are knowledgeable about the topic, our presentation may lack details or supporting information. 3. If the audience is not as involved, we may overlook important data. 4. Impromptu speaking is not appropriate in formal events when we are expected to have a thorough, well-reasoned speech. Here are 3 tips from Peter Cowrie to give an impressive impromptu speech. The first tip is, let's stick to the truth. Telling the truth will save us from mental anguish. When we are not sure, we say we are not sure. If we do not know, then we do not know. We stick to our truth at that given moment. This is not our chance to share secrets. The second tip is, let's share from personal experience. We do not need to do research or do any investigation to share and speak from experience. When in doubt, we share a story from a related past. We do not make things up. We recall memories that are closest to the given topic. The third tip is, let's practice out loud. We can do this on our own by responding to a random topic of our musing. We can also practice by speaking in a group. Getting feedback from people is absolutely valuable. How do we organize our thoughts for an impromptu speech? We all know that it allows very little preparation time. We would need to make instant decisions. Why does it smell like instant ramen right now? Here are a few effective frameworks we might want to try and apply next time we're called to speak impromptu. The first framework is FAT. F-A-T. Do we really need to spell out how I'm being super healthy? This COVID pandemic has caused me to be so well fed. FAT stands for feel, anecdote, and tie back. Let's share our honest feeling about the topic, the situation, or the person. Let's share an anecdote or a relevant story or personal experience. After sharing our anecdote, we bring everyone back to the topic. This provides a sense of closure, a concluding part. The second framework we might want to try is the 5 W's. Yes, those are the W's we're sharing here. Who, what, where, when, and why. We do not even need to change this order. Taking why as the last W will leave the audience thinking about the most important, most accessible points. The third framework we might want to consider is the diplomat. We focus our impromptu speech on the advantages and disadvantages of the subject topic. With this approach, we will be bound to take an informative tone. It does not allow a lot of creativity. When we would need to pause and think of what advantage or disadvantage to say next, please do not add any gap fillers. We can make use of a few seconds of silence to give the audience time to process essential points shared. The fourth framework is our favorite, storytelling. It is very easy to connect with the audience by telling a story. We start off small from our own perspective, then medium to a group or national perspective, and end large, taking a bigger picture. The last framework we're sharing through this video lesson presentation is POP BEANS. I told you, I have been well fed. POP BEANS stands for person, objects, places, beliefs, events, actions, nature, and science. Each of these letters gives us a different field to pursue. Each letter will help us form a section of our impromptu speech. Each letter will help us expand the horizons of our thoughts. We are now ready to look our teachers in the eye and answer the questions impromptu. Well, most of us need to save on internet data credits, so we need to turn the camera off to make our voices flow more clearly. See you in our next video. Take care always.
Dear all, how guide my channel. See you.